Welcome. Welcome to my first podcast with my first victim, Icetronixa. She's my friend and she's a variety streamer from England. And we want to talk about topics like, for example, how did you reach partner or how to grow a community, because she's doing a pretty good job in that. She also runs a stream team, but we'll talk about it later. And first of all, I would say, Ice, would you like to introduce yourself at the beginning? What is your stream about?
Yeah, so my name is Icetronixa, and I'm a full-time streamer on Twitch. I started streaming 4 years ago, and I do a lot of variety, I guess. Yeah.
4 years
Anything that-
ago. Wow.
4 years, yeah, August.
Cool. 4 years ago. That's also a long time already. When did you get partnered?
2018 in January. It was actually quite an interesting journey for me because I started streaming and then I got really ill with my health and I didn't stream as much. So I thought, with my numbers going down because I wasn't consistent and stuff, that I didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
But it turned out that the Twitch staff had actually read my social media and seen like why I wasn't streaming. And they were like, we were just waiting for you to come back to give you the good news. So
What,
they
really?
rated my yeah.
Oh my God.
So they
So
rated me and then
have you been applying before you got sick,
yeah, I
basically?
did. Yeah.
Ah, okay, and then you
Yeah.
weren't online, and then you basically didn't have any statistics, but they saw already that you were doing great, and then they wanted to rate you live and waited for you to come back, right?
Yeah. So I thought they were just like ignoring my application, but they were actually just waiting for me to come back.
Oh, cool. May I ask if you applied one time or more often?
Oh, I've applied many times. I applied 5 times maybe
Okay.
or something like this.
Okay, cool. I also wanted to know, as you are a variety streamer, you stream a lot of titles.
Yeah.
And what are some of your favorite titles that you've played on stream?
Favorite to play on stream was one of them was Mass Effect actually.
Mass
Mass
Effect,
Effect was
really?
amazing. Yeah.
What is so cool
Mass
about
Effect,
Mass Effect?
I think it's because every choice has such consequences. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you pick something, it can have really serious consequences for the rest of the game. Like you could lose a character, like they could die, or you're not looking after them. They might
Okay.
not want to join your fight anymore, things like that. So
Doesn't
that was very interesting and very intense. So that was an amazing experience. I loved playing Dark Souls as well. Dark
Yeah.
Souls 3, Bloodborne.
Did you
Those
play all
really
the
stand
Dark
out for
Souls?
me.
Did you play
No, only 3 and 1, I think.
3 and 1? Which one was the hardest for you?
Uh, uh, I think the hardest one was Bloodborne.
Okay, Bloodborne was harder. Okay.
Yeah. I think 193 tries to kill Kaz with one of the DLC bosses.
I think I joined your stream once when you were fighting against a big ugly spider, and then I had to leave. I think that was Bloodborne. Isn't there a big spider boss? In the
Yeah.
water? No? That was you, right?
I'm trying
Like-
to remember. There's so many bosses that,
There
yeah.
was a super big water scene in an ocean. There was a huge spider with little spiders coming, and you were fighting it, and I was like, "Ugh, oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
What the fuck is this? Okay, cool. So basically, Bloodborne was the hardest one. So Bloodborne, Dark Souls, and Mass Effect, one of your favorite games
Yeah,
to stream,
Witcher
huh?
and Skyrim has been amazing as well.
Yeah, true.
I mean anything with a good story. Like I love indie games, so sometimes they're like shorter games, but like these are like kind of bigger games that's taken longer to beat and things,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously people like joining that journey with you.
Yeah, of course. I'm just quickly asking, is the volume from Ice fine for you guys? That we can adjust it in case something is.
I think the only thing is because I'm restreaming you, there's a slight delay on your audio compared to like the audio in my Discord versus like
My chat
your
says it's
actual stream.
fine. You're not delayed, so okay, it's good, perfect, all right. Okay. What I also wanted to know is, like, if we talk about on stream, but what are your favorite games to play off stream, or
Off
ever?
stream,
Yeah.
Valorant.
I mean, you play so many games. I see you. You were like one of these gamers who's really a gamer, because Ice is constantly playing some games. Like, I'm not saying she's just playing games, but she's really playing games off stream. And a lot of the times you have streamers who just
I am always
stream.
playing games.
Yeah.
Always.
Sometimes streamers just play the game on stream and they don't really play off stream, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I play off stream all the time. A lot of Valorant or shooter games. I've always been very competitive, so I've been playing a lot of like Counter-Strike in the past.
Have you been streaming it
Overwatch and-
too?
No, not that much because it's a very toxic environment, and
No,
also
true.
it's like something that I enjoy like playing like offline, I guess, with friends more
Yeah.
than just like I guess like my community aren't so into shooter games and I guess those kind of games, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not
kind of
used to it,
hard. It's kind of hard
perhaps.
if you
Yeah.
have some variety channel and then you want to go into a competitive game and main it. I think in the end, if you would just start and continue doing this, you would grow a community there. But I mean, it's so precious and worthy if you have like a variety community that is there for every game. So it's kind of pointless to go into a competitive title and just main without being able to reach chat because whenever you go competitive, you cannot really focus a lot on chat, right?
Yeah, it's harder because you have to focus more on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
I think
yeah,
that's
I
why
guess it's
people
just
then kind of zone out and don't want to. I don't know. I don't say they don't want to watch, but they just usually want to come and talk with you and enjoy the
yeah.
gameplay. And
I
if
guess
you
if
just
you're doing that constantly anyway and they're used to like you engaging them more.
yeah, that's true. Like they have to get used to it basically. So what was it? It was Counter Strike, Overwatch, no,
Yeah, I
Valorant.
used to play a lot of competitive Overwatch. I made it to Masters there, so
Oh,
I
nice.
was playing quite a lot.
Yeah,
Um, at the moment, I play a lot of Valorant as well. I mean, I have been streaming it as well, but I do find that people enjoy more when I do like more story or interactive games,
yeah,
unless it's like a community five stack or something.
yeah. I get what you mean. I get community days or something. Then it's fine to play those
Yeah,
games.
I
Okay.
guess.
I wanted to know also, how did you make Twitch partner? I mean, you're saying basically that you stream variety now, but have you been also doing variety when you got partnered, or is there anything in
Yeah,
particular that you played? No, you've been variety? You've been doing variety?
yeah. I've
Okay.
basically been variety the whole time around, except a few months where I made Dead by Daylight, but that was after I got partnered. So when I
Okay.
went for like I don't really like calling it the partner grind because that it doesn't quite sit right with me. It's just like when you're like looking to grow,
Yeah.
right? Variety can be quite a challenge because people might come there for a specific game. Like say you're playing Dark Souls, for instance, you get like that hardcore fan base who's like wanting to see your progress
Yeah.
with that particular game. But as soon as you move on to, let's say, Witcher, um, that fan base is going to go somewhere else and watch someone else do those bosses that you just defeated and stuff. So
Hmm.
you have to kind of, I guess in a way, just to put it blunt, you have to sell your personality and like make people want to stay for you, like regardless of what you're doing. Oh, I think your stream is buffering. Give me a sec.
Yeah. Should be fine
Okay,
now.
yeah,
Test. Yeah.
yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
Discord.
So
So yeah. Was it my cam? Was it the cam as
no,
well, or
it's
just the
fine.
Discord maybe?
It was just a stream. I probably
Okay.
lost a few frames. But yeah, for me, it was more like frustrating because I didn't see growth go like in one way or another. It was quite the roller coaster, like up and down, regardless of what I was doing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you main a game, it's easier to see like a linear growth going upwards. Whereas variety, like from personal experience, I find that it's not quite linear. It's more up and down all the time. But
Yeah.
overall, you have growth, but it's hard to see at the time. Some days you might just have lower numbers, and it's just it used to mentally affect me a lot seeing that roller coaster. Like one day I could have, close to partner numbers, and then another day there could
Hmm.
be, half of that, and then another day it could be somewhere in the middle. And mentally, I was struggling a lot with thinking about like what those numbers were because I was like, oh, I want to make partner, I want to get there, and oh, I only had so many viewers today, and then I realized it's such an unhealthy way of thinking
Yeah.
because your community isn't just a number. You have
Yeah.
to appreciate them for being there, picking you out of, all those streamers who are there. Like they come there for you. They don't want to be just like a number on your grind, you know what I mean? And as soon as I started not worrying about numbers, that's actually when it just happened more, I guess, naturally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I was putting more of myself into the content and not worrying so much about doing what was right for growth and just do what I enjoyed. And when you enjoy something, that transpires, and then your audience sees it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think a lot of people get stuck in that same trap where you are so focused on that
Yeah.
grind and to achieve something that you kind of forget to appreciate what you have and the milestones you already had on your journey. And so
Yeah.
now I don't mind my numbers anymore. I just try to either cover them up or not look so much at them, and just, you know, just be happy for those who are there and just do what makes me happy. And maybe, you know, that works for me, maybe it doesn't. It's just what makes me happy as well. And I think at the end of the day, our mental health is going to be so important as well, and it'll transpire into your content, really.
Yeah, I also think in the end, I mean, pushing for partner or like mobilizing a community to help you to reach partner is great, and I think we've all done it. But in the end, if you are a partner, you kind of think about it, and I mean, if you want to reach partner, you kind of want to reach partner out of your own power. And I mean, Twitch also
Yeah.
sees that if you are a variety streamer, for example, if you main Dota, I mean, I was maining Dota, I was in German category, I reached the 100 plus on average all the time, but it was also a small category. Like if you were playing League of Legends, you needed way more viewers. So I got partnered with like 100 plus, like 110 or something, which is also not that common in a MOBA, right? But as it's a small category, Twitch kind of saw, okay, there are people streaming Dota, we kind of reward that. And that's the same if you do like variety or if you do art or body painting or whatever. Like if it's a niche or if it's like a smaller genre, Twitch sees that it's kind of harder to achieve that. I mean, now you have kind of 75 average viewers, right? When I was applying, you needed to have 100 plus. So that's anyway kind of easier to reach now. But I also totally get what you mean with focusing on the numbers. And I think in the end, if you once reach partner, you feel that it's not about reaching partner, because if you reach partner, the journey has just started basically. It's not the end, it's just something you can, I mean, of course you can get emotes and stuff and it's a big ass goal to reach, but if you just push for it and then the hype is gone, because a lot of people are jumping on that hype train, join your stream, you'll be like, oh my god, I really made it, and out of a sudden when you reach partner, you'll be like 20 less viewers, you streaming to 20 or 30 less viewers, and they move on and join another partner who is pushing, like another affiliate who is pushing. So I always
Yeah.
think it's not about pushing for partner. You should really just become partner when your numbers are partner numbers, or when your content is just that valuable that you deserve partner, right? Like, I
I
don't know,
think
we shouldn't stress about it too much.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest thing is a misconception is that people think that once you reach partner status that you've made it,
Yeah.
that you're going to be rich and you don't need support anymore. Like you made it.
Mm.
I've seen so many partners, including myself, see a huge drop in subs or tips and stuff like that, because people like supporting that journey towards partner. Like they want to get someone there, they like being part of it, they feel included. And then people think that as soon as you made it, you don't need them anymore. But that's not true, especially for us who's like full-time content creators. You know, it all helps, but I've seen a lot of people, you know, pull their support away just because they think, okay, you made it as partner now, and you might have like 200 subs 1 month, so you don't need that one more sub, do you? Or you know, you don't need those £5 or dollars or euros or whatever that they want to spare to someone. They'll go and find someone who might just have a smaller audience because they think that that will help them push towards that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a misconception that, especially for, you know, full-time partners, they don't need it anymore. And if enough people think that way, then those people are going to struggle because they're not going to get any revenue in at the end of the day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. How important do you think networking is on the way
Um,
to partner? Did you do it a lot or?
I did do it a lot, and it drained me mentally a lot as well. I think there has to be a healthy balance between networking, but also taking time off when you're not streaming. Because when you stream full time and you're the only person doing everything, like you're doing your networking research, you're doing your graphics, you're doing OBS, you're doing social media, you're doing this and that. And at the end of the day, I find that I'm doing it 24/7. I like, even on my days off, I'm constantly working on something with the stream.
Yeah.
Um, and you also tend to find that networking can be really hard as well, because you have genuine people to network with, but you also have people who want to leech off your success, or you have people who just want to use you. So it's, you know, it's a little bit like you get burnt a few times on the road there, but you also find some amazing friendship. Like I found you as well, somewhere along that line of networking and things. So you know, it's both. It can be very important, but it's also important to take your time when you need it.
And how would you define networking? I mean, a lot of people in chat probably don't even know what we're talking about, but what is for you networking in order to, let's call it grow your channel and also maybe finding friends, whatever you want to call it, but what is,
I mean, I guess it's unique to different people. For me, networking is, finding other like-minded people. You go visit their stream, talk to them a little bit, get involved with what they're doing, engaging on their social media, things like that. But I think one of the things that might be, um, I guess, expected when you network is that some people think to seem that networking is basically living in each other's stream 24/7, which is obviously not realistic for a lot of people. For me, streaming full time and doing everything else on the side, I don't have 8 hours a day to spend 4 hours in your stream and 4 hours in your stream and 4 hours in your stream and
mm,
everyone's stream. And when I do actually go and watch streams, I like to lurk because I enjoy content and I just like watching.
yeah,
Um,
same.
but some people seem to think that if you're not there constantly chatting, that you're not networking with them, and then they lose interest and they stop supporting you, and they're like, yeah, but you weren't there, or you didn't sub or something. So yeah, it's a little bit hard to find that balance for me personally. Like, I do support people, but I just genuinely don't have the time to be there 24/7 for 500 people.
Yeah.
Um,
I personally also reduced at a certain time the amount of people that I'm following because I wanted to kind of stick to the people that I know already and be a little bit more active on their channels. And then later on, I kind of looked for some new people throughout raids or whatever. But I really reduced the amount of people that I'm following actively so that I can spend some quality time on their, let's say, Twitter or Twitch or whatever.
yeah,
Because following so many people, sorry, but it's nothing personal. It's just not working out because you feel easily drained and overwhelmed from social media. That's one of the
yeah,
things, I don't know. Like social media is really one of the things you're either like full in for a couple of days and then you get totally drained and overwhelmed by everything because shit gets so active. If you start making more tweets for a certain amount of time and people really interact and answer, you have to interact again. So you always have to keep in mind if you really have time to interact with those tweets that you put out there, right?
yeah,
That's one of the things for me, for example. Maybe you should, if you do like networking, really focus on like one or two platforms. Like, for example, I would say Twitter as a streamer is like the must have, and then Twitch. And then look for some content creators where you get like, be super active, where you kind of vibe with those people and want to find out more about them. And it's not about if they're coming back or if they're returning the activity or whatever. It's just about you really wanting to be there, and then let's see if there's a friendship developing or whatnot, but never go there with expecting something in return, right?
yeah. I think a lot of people expect a lot of you,
Yeah,
and those expectations can often lead to disappointment and falling outs with people as well.
yeah,
Um, I find that people you can genuinely talk with in private and be like, hey, you know what? I don't have a lot of time to watch you, but I really enjoy your content or something like that. Like those people who know that and understand that, they will appreciate you, even if that it's that half an hour you have while you eat your food, or it's. I've just noticed that like mentally it can be so challenging because a lot of people just expect so much from you constantly,
yeah.
and you feel like you just never give enough of yourself, even though you are basically giving everything
Mm,
all the time on and off stream to try to grow and to keep friendships and still have a personal life on top of it. It's a hard balance to find, honestly.
definitely, that's true. Okay, I would move on to the next question that I have for you.
Yeah.
Your mother tongue is Norwegian, no?
Yes.
And have you ever thought about streaming in Norwegian when you started?
I thought about it, but for me personally, Norway isn't a huge country. There
Mm-hmm.
isn't a very big audience in Norway, and I
Okay.
think it would limit my growth more than it would help it, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like streaming in English, which is a world language, I'm more approachable from different countries, and um, yeah, I think for me it's a no, but I guess it depends on what country you're from, what language you talk, and what you're comfortable with. I mean, there might be some Norwegian streamers who find that it's more comfortable streaming in their
Mm-hmm.
native tongue, but for me, I'm just more happy to be an English streamer, really.
Okay. Because like for example in my case, I mean German is the second most prominent, how do you say, dominant category on Twitch. Like The second
Yeah.
most viewers come from Germany. So when I was streaming in the German category, I always averaged more viewers than I did in the English one, because you're just gonna get lost in a wide category in games where with a lot of English streaming content creators. But yeah, if like the Norwegian category is super small, then it's pointless. But maybe in general, sometimes you really need to decide for yourself whether you might really not just start in your mother tongue or really go for English and then start with that. Because personally, starting with German and then switching to English was like a new start. You kind of go from German to English, and then you
Yeah.
out of a sudden start all over. Felt. I mean, the hardest, like the super supporters of my channel have been going with me and started also to learn English and stuff, which was really sweet. But yeah, it's definitely hard. So whenever you decide to start a channel, you should maybe really think about your language, and if you maybe have
Yeah.
potential to
What you
grow in
want
your
to do.
mother tongue language, even though it's smaller. Depends on the language, as you said. Good point. Um, what I also want to know is, how much time do you invest into the job as a content creator each day? Any?
More than people realize.
Mm,
People think that streaming is basically go live and you're there for like what, 4 to 8 hours, something like that. But it's so much more. It's the constant networking. It's trying to find sponsors. It's social media. It's still engaging with your community. It's running Discord. It's
yeah.
writing loads of emails. It's always looking for the next opportunity, upgrading your stream graphics, maybe work on new alerts, working on ideas, research.
Mm,
For me, I basically think about it day and night. Like there's not much time that I take off. Even though maybe people don't see it,
mm-hmm.
I'm in a way constantly working.
Yeah. That's also probably
And
the
that,
reason why a
yeah.
lot of us feel drained after a while, no? Because we are
Yeah,
like
it's why
overdoing
a
it
lot of
because we love
streamers
it.
burn out.
Yeah,
It's very different from like your 8 to 5 job. Um,
definitely. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you
because
would.
it's hard because we're self-employed. We don't have like I mean, some people have a schedule. For me, it's harder because of my health. I have a few health conditions that kind of limits my ability to say, okay, I'm going to be this day every week, and it's going to be always this hour because I don't know when my body is going to fight me.
Yeah.
So for me, I just have to try to make sure I get hours in when I'm able to. But obviously consistency is obviously key to growth and to stay relevant and things like that. But in terms of work hours, I think it's easier when you're not at your home, you're not at your own PC because you can get distracted and you do other things.
That's totally
Like when
true.
you have to go physically into work, I have to be there at 9, I have to go home at 4, or whatever time you have.
And then you can
That's
just
easier,
relax in
and
the
to
evening.
be disciplined enough with yourself to do that when you're at home can be hard.
That's totally true. I also think that, yeah, I mean, you work definitely more than as as an employed person. Like when I was employed in former times, 8 hours a day. That is nothing. Everybody thinks, "Are you just playing games? Nice, it's awesome." But it's really tough to first of all find your balance. Like you start being self-employed, you start being a full-time streamer, and you kind of start finding out the balance maybe after like 2 years to balance out everything for yourself, for your real life and your business. That is just not constantly business. And I think that's the same for every self-employed person, probably. Just that we have the additional thing of being reachable, like the interactivity that you can reach us, which is like a big mental, yeah, let's say challenge to be constantly available, no? Like this being
Yeah.
constantly available is a thing, and it's
But
wonderful.
I
And
think that people expect that maybe a little bit too much sometimes, that they think that you're constantly available.
yeah.
Because obviously Discord makes it easy to message people, Instagram, Twitter, things like that. And people don't also realize that when we're not streaming, like we also have a life outside of it.
We do.
And yeah, I know streamers have lives. What is
Do we
this?
really? Sometimes I feel like I don't have
But
a
yeah,
life anymore.
but yeah, it's finding a balance between being approachable, but also still knowing your limits, that you don't take on too much.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
even if it's just nice things that people are saying and you're having nice conversations, it can drain you if you have like 12 people constantly messaging you while you're trying to just relax or something. So sometimes I just don't answer until I feel like I have the time and energy to properly reply to people. And,
Yeah. I think it's also
but
more important
some
because,
people,
sorry,
yeah, go
you
on, sorry.
continue. No, go on. You go
I
on.
do think that some people sometimes take it personal if you don't respond within
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But um, yeah, it's just too hard to be that approachable constantly, I think.
Definitely. I also think, like, if you have some conversations, I think it's so stupid to just write like a very superficial answer, like "Hi, I'm doing good," and you like stuff like that. I don't even answer if it's like just "How are you doing?" because it's pointless to ask those kind of questions. But unless it's like someone that is close to you. But I think if you like limit the contact to your community to some people, then you have more quality interaction or more quality conversations, which are actually meaningful instead of just trying to answer everyone and being there for everyone. Then I just kind of make it public that, guys, if you really have some questions, make sure that you come to my Twitch or join Discord, ask it in general chat. And if it's really
Yeah,
something urgent or something that you have to address me with, I mean, my Discord is open. Sometimes it's closed, my DMs, and if I feel like I'm mentally able to answer all the messages, and it's fine, because sometimes if you have all those notifications, it can be so overwhelming. You want to get rid of those notifications. It's like tasks that are open and people don't really think about it, but everybody just wants something which is important, but you feel like, oh my god, there's so much to do still. And then sometimes I also deactivate the DMs, and then if I feel like it, I just activate it again. I wish for a deactivation on Instagram, actually, but you
yeah,
get just spammed by messages from people. But that's why Discord is cool, because people who are actually really from your community are in Discord, and those have priority. I don't know, does one social media have priority for you if you answer messages?
yeah.
Discord or?
Um, for me, I usually go with Discord more because I have closed DMs, so the people who are messaging me are most likely people that I am engaging with currently
Mm-hmm.
about something important, or people that I've grown close with and have
Yeah.
kind of relaxed conversations with. I also have Twitter that people message me on,
Mm-hmm.
which I go through every now and then, like if I see a message that needs replying to. But I also try to tell people to take advantage of like the streams, because I do usually do like an hour of just chatting where you can come and ask how are you doing, or
Yeah.
all these questions that can also be said in front of other people. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be in private. Um, so I always try to include everyone as much as I can in the just chatting part of the stream, so everyone feel like they have that time to talk to me and engage with me, and still, be able to ask me questions and
Yeah.
hang out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I also think people should take advantage of the just chatting time that we do. And if it's something
Yeah.
urgent, yeah, sure, then just shoot a message, right?
Hmm.
But it's always important that people are not taking anything personal if you don't answer in time. I mean, I personally answer maybe once a week, but then if I answer, it takes some time to read it. So, yeah, everybody
Yeah.
how they feel like. And also, it's more quality time on Twitch if you don't have that many messages, right? There's more streams for the people, and yeah, always have to keep
Yeah.
that in consideration. Which also leads me to the next topic. What social media platform are you most active on, and why?
Um, to be honest, lately I've kind of taken a break from social media a little bit. I've
Hmm.
just found it to be so negative
Negative,
recently.
really? Why?
Um, I just I think we live in times where everyone is so fast to shame people and witch hunt and
Mm,
to call people out, and it's just like this cancel culture that is just very negative to me, because it's also happened to me. I know what it's like.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just very draining as well, when everything is that you read on social media has like this negative impact behind it. So for me, it's sometimes if I am going through things in life, like at the moment, my life is changing, and I don't have that much, I guess, mental strength to read all of these things and kind of brush past it in a way, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, I
it
fully understand.
negatively impacts how I feel,
Mm-hmm.
which then negatively affects like my capability to stream and perform and be in the right mood and mindset to actually put out content and things like that. But that's just because, like, for me, mental health is a big thing. I mean, we all have it to a certain degree. Some people feel it more than others. I'm probably one of those who feel those things. Um, I'm probably more sensitive to like my mental health going down quite quickly because I have had depression for most of my life, and negativity does impact that for sure. So sometimes I step back and then I kind of come back when I feel stronger and better. And when I do, I like to engage with obviously my friends and new people. And I think Twitter for me is a good platform, but it can also be a bad platform at the same time, if
Oh
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I don't like how easily you get target of like a shitstorm, a witch hunt, and how easily you kind of get attention for something that you didn't mean the way you wanted to say it. Like you meant it in a total different way, and people just come after you for nothing just because they want to be keyboard warriors. It's really crazy. I'm also
Yeah.
sometimes scared of Twitter, and you just really always have to think about what you're putting out there and if you can live with the consequences that those posts actually have. Because yeah.
Yeah. I think also because we might underestimate it at some point that we actually do have influence in what we say because we have the platform we do. And people can get influenced about the way we speak or the way we think.
Yeah.
Um, and I also know that there are those trolls out there who likes to twist everything you do or take like something completely out of context
Or
and
just want
start
to feel
something over
offended,
it.
no?
Yeah. So
I totally know what you mean. But would you say, like, when you say it's negative for you, social media, are you referring mostly to Twitter or also Instagram and, I don't know, TikTok or is there?
for me, I'm not very much on TikTok anymore. I don't know. I just I found for me it was just too time consuming to do so many things, and I just don't have enough time to put in proper content on there anymore. Um, Twitter is something that I can kind of browse a little bit here and there, and you kind of engage with what you want to. So I find that easier. Instagram for me is I don't know. I try to post some stories and kind of interact with people that way, but I don't post daily on there when it comes to like actual photos and things. And I find that um, I kind of learn more from Twitter than from Instagram most of the time because Instagram is a lot of like food pictures and this and that. And I mean, obviously, some people putting out some proper content as well, but I find it easier to find people on Twitter than on Instagram, personally.
Yeah, I also personally think if you're a gamer, I mean, a lot of gaming companies are on Twitter, and
Yeah,
also your
exactly.
streamer friends are on Twitter. I mean, some of them, of course, are also on Instagram, but you get more engaged on Twitter and you see opportunities. You can find opportunities for game keys, for sponsorships, or just network really properly. You can retweet and share stuff. So I also personally think that Twitter is actually really the social media to be at if you're
Yeah.
a streamer,
Hmm.
and you should focus a lot of, I mean, I was kind of missing out on putting a lot of effort into it, and I started really late with it. But I mean, you're quite successful. You have 3,900 followers on Twitter, right? Something around that. And
Somewhere around there.
do you have any tips like how to Twitter, how to grow on Twitter?
I would like to know that myself, honestly.
It just happened. Or,
I think the only thing that I've kind of done to grow on there is engage with other people, find people that also engage with your content, and it's a part of the networking that we talked about earlier, I think, as well.
okay. So guys, networking, engaging with the tweets, no? Do you think
Yeah,
posting regularly is important?
yeah, and I guess like just be mindful of what you post. If all you post is like I'm live, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live, then people learn nothing about you. So maybe once in a while, talk about what you're doing or, something that's important to you or just be motivational or I don't know.
Yeah, like
Put out a
put
funny meme
some.
or something. Just something for people to engage with.
Yeah, makes sense. Put some time into your Twitter and not just post anything randomly, no? Also think about what
Yeah.
you want to post. Um, okay, I also want to know if you need a break or something, let me know, no?
No, no, it's
Then we
fine and
just.
we're good.
What does your daily routine look like when it's a streaming day?
When it's a streaming day, usually it will be wake up and I guess have some food, get ready is usually, putting on some makeup or not, depending on how you feel. Sit down on the PC, open up all your programs, make sure you've got everything ready for the day. Like you got the game installed, you got the right scenes, cameras working, microphones working, things like that. Respond to all your emails, check your socials, Discords. Just make sure you're up on top with everything, and then stream, and then I guess afterwards it's just all the same again. Check all your socials.
Do you
And
also
then
feel that after the stream it's mostly more work because more people are contacting you or reaching out?
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
no?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about taking off, like, or having vacation?
Oh,
When
it's a
you're
scary thing on Twitch. Any time of Twitch is becoming less relevant every time you do it.
right.
Obviously, you have a core audience who will be there whenever you're there. They're amazing, and they'll be there even if you're gone for a month and come back. But if you have new viewers, or if you've been playing a particular game, taking time off will obviously affect those things. But at the end of the day, we're just humans, and we have to remember that our health is important as well. And sometimes we just have to take time off. And at the beginning, I was so scared of even going to the loo or getting a drink or eat when I was streaming. And yeah, I basically wasn't even doing those things when I was streaming because I was so scared of losing relevancy. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because I've learned that I have to look after myself if I'm going to be able to put the content out there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Also, like sometimes we streamers have the like if we're doing really, really well, we are having a good amount of viewers, we're doing good with sub points, whatever. You kind of have a momentum, and you know, whenever you go away on vacation, or if you just go to a gaming convention, like for example Gamescom. Whenever I've been to a gaming convention, if it was like 1 week afterwards, I came back and I was having less viewers. Of course, the sub points drop. That's normally, but it's really hard for your brain or for your mind and for your mindset to come back after you take off, because usually you think, oh, people might have missed you, there will be many, and it's mostly not the case, and you kind of have to deal with that, or have to be aware of that you come back and it's nothing personal. They just, some of them maybe move on, they watch someone else in between, whatever. But it's always really difficult to take off, even though it's so important to really recharge your batteries and also attend
Yeah.
events and conventions, of course. But it's always the thing that it's not just a thing that happens in our minds. It's really like statistics that you're really doing mostly worse after you come back. I mean, there are some exceptions. They're doing still great when they come back, but
Yeah.
often you can really lose the momentum, and that's kind of scary. And that's why a lot of us work so much and are scared to take off. But yeah,
That's why a lot of streamers get burnt out, because we're
yeah,
so scared of
definitely,
exactly that.
definitely. I mean, we're kind of building also a lot on hope, which maybe makes us a little bit vulnerable. If we wouldn't be so dependent on that, on hoping that people are there, maybe,
Yeah.
you know, feel a bit more safe, would be maybe different. I
Mhm.
don't know. I mean, you've been also referring to your schedule. I actually have the question later, but I think it fits. You said you don't stream with schedule, right? And I personally also think that is perfect, because whenever you have like a schedule and then you have a day where you feel mentally not ready to stream, you have to stream. But you, as a content creator, you also want to entertain people. You want to be positive. You want to be there for people. Of course, there are days when you feel bad and down and people help you and cheer you up. But mostly you want to be there for people. You want to cheer them on. So that's why I think not having a schedule is really cool, because you can come online whenever you feel like it, and you will be there for people, and it will be a nice content, no? I don't know, like,
Yeah.
was that the reason for
There,
you, or
there's ups and downs with that. I think the
your
downside
health, you
is
know?
consistency is really, really key to keeping your audience knowing when you're going to be there,
Yeah.
and they can work around their plans to be there as well. But the upside is, as you said, you stream on your own terms when you're mentally and physically capable, and when you have the energy to give the best content that you can do. So I think sometimes quality over quantity for me personally is better than sit there and people will notice that you're either like really sad or you're feeling drained and you're not like yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's a hard balance.
I think it's also the way how you do it, how your concept is. I think maybe in your case, your community knows that you don't really want to have a schedule or something. In my case, I really always seem to do much better when I have a schedule, because people actually wait for my streams. They are there when I start my stream. And when I do it spontaneously, it's mostly, yeah, I mean, people didn't know, they aren't there, you know what I mean? Because they just weren't informed about it. I don't know, maybe I should just announce my streams one day in advance, but then again, it's like a schedule, you know, if it's like one day in advance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's maybe how your viewers are used to do it, but I really struggle with that, just coming live, and I'm really admiring people who can just really say, okay guys, I'm going live in half an hour, let's meet, let's hang out, because I'm such a scheduled
Yeah.
streamer, and I think people are just used to it. But yeah, I
Yeah.
should just be strong enough to just say, no, I'm canceling today, and not feel like a failure or as if I let people down if I don't stream, because I always feel so bad. People were looking forward to it, and I'm just canceling, and then I just can't cancel, and then I go online, and it's mostly so hard to stream on those days. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling when you cancel and you know that you're letting people down, but at the same time you know you're not going to perform if you do go on. And
Yeah.
although most people are understanding, there's always that one person or something who, there's some days where I think that, you know what, I don't want to let you guys down and I don't want to cancel the stream, but I'm feeling bad and I don't want to stream with the camera. So you
Mm-hmm.
come online and you stream without a camera. And then there are, the one odd person who'd be making you feel bad for doing that. And you're like, well, I'm only here to see you. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well,
Oh no.
you know,
Wow. Dude.
things like that that can
Yeah, I get what you mean.
that can hurt sometimes, if you're having a bad day. But at the end of the day, I also understand that they want to see your reactions and things, but
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. I mean, I'm also not used to it seeing you. But I mean, in your channel, I'm actually used to it. Sometimes you really have those days where you stream without cam. I've been never doing it. So, do you enjoy it like more sometimes,
Oh,
or
I
how is it?
enjoy it so much more.
Yeah.
Streaming without a camera makes me feel 10 times more free.
Okay.
Like, I don't
Wow.
have to worry about how I look or how I react to something. I can just enjoy chatting and gaming without any pressure, really.
Okay, that's awesome. Maybe I should also try it out, just like one
Yeah, I would
time.
recommend trying it because
Yeah.
it's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wait. What else do I have here? Yeah. What is the most positive thing about being a full-time streamer is?
Ooh, definitely working from home
Yeah,
and doing your own hours. That is an amazing luxury that a lot of people don't have.
that's true.
Um, so yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest positive things about it is that you can do what suits you. I
At
think
your own
especially
terms.
for myself with so many health issues and also struggling mentally from time to time, it's such a nice thing to not having to worry about getting in trouble if you just have that one bad day or something. So that for me is a very, very big positive, and I can't even imagine a life where this isn't happening for me anymore because I've grown so used to it now, 4 years of doing it. But there's a lot of other things that's positive about being a full-time streamer is obviously following your passion for video games and being able to play them for a living. That's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible um, to be able to play so much and share that journey with like your close friends and the community that you've grown to love and care for.
Yeah, and
So
also not
yeah,
never
that's
getting.
all a very great experience. And I think another thing is that your core audience becomes kind of a family. Like they're my online family, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, your online
Uh,
internet family, that's true.
Yeah, and you just go through so much together with them.
I also feel like
So
it's wonderful how you never really, especially as a variety streamer, I don't know how you feel like, but it never feels for me like I can't play this game. I'm so bored of the game because you always have tons of games that you still want to play and you actually don't even know where to start and everything is so exciting. So it's never really getting boring or you're never really getting depressed over your job, like over the thing that you
yeah.
actually do, right? Like streaming. That's I don't know, how do you feel about it? Do you have days where you can't stream a game or you're just getting bored or are you also always excited?
Um, the mood can obviously affect that if you have a bad day. You sometimes feel like I have nothing to stream, but you look in your Steam and you have 300 plus games and you're like, yeah, I do definitely have something to stream, but
Nothing to wear
sometimes you're
also
just not
within.
in the mood for a specific game or something, or sometimes you're just like, I want to play this game today, and you just do it, even if maybe you said, okay, tomorrow we're gonna play, I don't know, Witcher, but then you end up playing, I don't know, for you maybe Dota because you were really feeling Dota that day,
Okay, today Dota guys, they'd be like, no, 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 Bekka. Okay, and what is the most negative thing about full-time streaming for you? I have a guess, but let me get, let me hear.
Yeah, it's an obvious one. It's definitely security with finances. Because one month you could have a great momentum, you could have loads of subs, loads of donations, and then another month you might not have anything. So it's that uncertainty not knowing how much you're going to make the next month. Is it going to be enough the next month following a bad month? If I have a good month, I always save up for that bad month. So I'm always like kind of participating that, okay, what if I have 1 or 2 bad months in a row? Can I get through it financially? Or if I can't, try to think of ways to engage people more, to make it more desirable to help out without making it about you, like, oh, I have to pay this bill, but more about like, okay, I know you really wanted this horror game, let's push this goal, like 50 subs, let's do it, that kind of thing will more likely engage people than you making it about, oh, I need to pay this bill or this bill and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, that's our responsibility. But it is a challenge because you never know what's going to come in, or if people want to support you, or that is a big, I guess, worry. But it's also the risk we do take when we decide that, okay, I'm going to be a full-time streamer.
Yeah. Like with every self-employed business, sometimes where you can't really guess or calculate, you kind of have to
Yeah, exactly.
jump
It
into the
goes
deep
to any
water.
self-employed person,
Yeah.
really.
It's scary sometimes, and you kind of have some, how do you call it, anxiety, or I don't know, about the future. But in the end, I mean, no risk, no fun. We live one time, and you should kind of chase your dreams, I feel. And I mean, you have to be aware that maybe you have to, not buy some things or not have some luxuries if you want to be full-time streamer, but it depends on how you're
Yeah.
doing. Like if your lifestyle, offers that being a streamer. Oh my God, I'm getting a call. Who is calling me? 1 second. Be right back, guys.
Yeah, no worries. It's okay.
Hello,
Okay.
test.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh,
Sorry,
hi.
I got a
I'm here.
call. My car had a check up.
Okay. No worries.
So
I'm
where
here.
were we? Where were we? What were we talking about?
I don't
Something.
know. Just move to your next
Just
question.
move to the next question. Okay. I also want to know, what does your nutrition look like at the moment?
Oh, my nutrition is not great, but it's not bad either.
What does it mean?
At the moment, I am kind of on a health journey, and
Yeah, I
I
saw that.
started this year at 70 kilos, which is a lot for someone who's only 156 centimeters.
I
So I
never
was,
saw that. I never saw that. I never saw the
yeah,
70.
I was a bit overweight for my size. I wouldn't call me fat, but I was obviously not the healthiest I could be, a little bit chubby. So I started eating healthier, stopped comfort eating so much, and because that's what I did a lot of the time after streaming, I maybe feel bad, or I didn't have time to cook or something, and it's just like, okay, let's just have a takeaway or something unhealthy. But since, I guess maybe since February or early March, I've lost 12.5 kilos now.
Wow. Wow.
Uh,
Holy.
so my nutrition has definitely changed. I am eating better. I'm drinking more water, less fizzy drinks. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. I'm just basically eating as much dairy and gluten-free that I can, because my body reacts better to not having those things.
Yeah.
And yeah, just eating more fruits and I guess plant-based stuff.
Yeah, I think just changing already to plant-based stuff and leaving out some drinks, like some drinks with sugar, helps a lot, right?
Yeah, for sure, for
So
sure.
change it. Okay, and how do you handle the situation while you're streaming? Are you eating while streaming, or do you eat before and after
It
stream?
depends on how long I stream. I usually
Mm-hmm.
eat before and after.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do like an 8 hour stream, I usually have food before and after, and maybe I take a 5 minute break to have like something small in between, maybe off screen or on screen. Most of the time I don't like eating on stream, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if I have to, I will.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, no, that was already. So you basically take a short break and you eat behind the screen or on screen also.
Depends though. If it's just like a 5 minute loo break and get a drink, I
Yeah.
can eat something quickly in the kitchen and then
Yeah.
just come back again. People are okay waiting for it, but
And as you're
yeah.
not drinking any coffee or something, do you sometimes feel like you need some energy from something? I don't know, drink
I
something?
drink an energy drink called well, it's a company called Now. And for me, they're amazing because they don't have caffeine in it, and
Oh,
it's
really?
also
How do they do
vegan.
that?
And yeah, it's like I always feel very like uh, I don't know. I feel like I'm more with it when I have one of those. In a way, if
Okay.
I'm feeling tired or something.
And what do they put in to make you awake?
Um, you can find that on their webpage. I don't remember all the
You can
ingredients by
send me a
heart.
link. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Sounds
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I quite like them. Just because it doesn't have like loads of caffeine or sugars. It's sugar free. It's caffeine free. It's vegan.
Yeah.
But it still tastes really, really delicious. It doesn't taste heavy at all. Like some energy drinks, you feel very sugary, like you get like
Yeah.
furry teeth and stuff. It's not like that at all. It's really, really like fresh.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. Next big topic. We're talking about community building.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're leading the stream team, the Icewalkers stream team, where I'm also part of.
yeah.
And also your own stream community, of course. What would you say is important when you want to start grow community?
Oh, this is such a tricky question. Because I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think everyone does it differently. What worked for me was engage the audience that I had, make friends with them, take an interest in them, and it just kind of organically grew from that, I think.
And how did you
I
make it
didn't
that
really,
your discords
I
are
didn't really do
active?
anything other than that.
Like, how do you make it that your discords are really active? Or, like, are you also personally engaging a lot in your Discord to keep the
Um,
Discord active, or does it just happen naturally?
I think we reached a point now where it happens organically without me forcing
Mm-hmm.
any conversations in any way. I'm very, very blessed that my community will talk nearly
Mm-hmm.
24/7 in Discord, even if I'm not there.
Ah,
Um,
cool.
but obviously, people get excited when I come and talk to them. But I mean, we have movie nights literally every week, even if I'm not there. Like my mods will take over. It's just like become like a tradition by now that
Mm-hmm.
we're always hanging out there and talking, and we share so much with each other that it's just kind of like an online family at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, it was probably me engaging basically constantly to keep things going. But now it's just luckily at a point where I can also take a step back when I don't feel social, but then come um, and be social when I have the energy, and then people will just, engage with that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an amazing feeling.
Oh, that's cool. And so, I mean, we've been talking about Discord now. Would you say Discord is important to grow a community, or how important is Discord in that
I
process?
think Discord is an amazing tool to keep your community together when you're not streaming, because you can share your news and updates in there. You can engage in other un unrelated things to stream, like movies or shows you're excited about, or if you want to talk about something that's happening in the world, there's always constantly something, or you want to post a picture of your pets or your food. Maybe people want to talk about nutrition or fitness, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe people just need somewhere to say, hey, I had a really shit day. You guys,
Yeah, just
anyone want to
vent.
just talk to me for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
It just keeps people together, and also let them get to know each other as well. So it grows outside of you and the stream, but it also forms friendship amongst your community as well. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I don't think that's really possible on any other platform that you could use. I mean, there's a Twitch app, of course, that you could use too. I don't know, tried it for a while, but like Discord was just so common back then with all your channels
Yeah,
that it's kind of
I
also
think
Discord.
Discord is quite unique like that because you
Yeah,
can do so much with it. You can hang out in voice chat, you can text chat, you can watch movies, you can play games in there. There's so
upload
many things
files.
you can
Yeah,
do that you can't do on other social media, and it just becomes like this um, also a secure platform because you have layers of security in the Discord. You have mods. You
that's
have
true. Yeah,
obviously like you need to have the link to join the Discord and stuff like so. It has like a few layers of protection as well, so you know that things are running smoothly and you don't have to worry about
yeah,
trolls and stuff. So I think it's
definitely.
a safe way for your community to engage when you're not streaming, for sure.
No, I also think Discord is the way to be. I mean, some people say they only use TeamSpeak, but there is nothing you can't compare it with because Discord is so much more. And as Ice just said, you people can talk about everything. You can have so many text channels and voice channels and have movie nights and whatnot. Discord is just really also, in my opinion, the place to be to grow a community. I mean, in the beginning, you just start streaming and people come, right? So you kind of grow a community there, and then you have to
Yeah,
redirect them to a place where you can also exchange off stream and not just on stream, and that people get to know each other a
yeah,
little bit more. So Discord
exactly.
is definitely the way to go, also, in my opinion. Okay, we have two more. Wait, two more. I think two or three more questions, and then some
Yeah,
questions from
sure.
chat. What was the biggest lesson, Ice, you've learned on Twitch?
The biggest lesson is don't try to be like everyone else.
Oh yeah.
100% be yourself. What works for others might not necessarily mean it's going to work for you. This is something I did a lot in the beginning, thinking, oh, I see people do 24 music. Sorry, I was reading chat there, music.
24 music.
24-hour streams, playing specific games or whatever. And I was trying to copy other people because, yeah, I wanted to grow like they did, but they might have grown for different reasons than that particular thing. So um, I think the most important thing, be yourself, one, and two, have fun with it. If you have fun while you're yourself, people will enjoy that for who you are, and that fun will transpire onto stream as well. So I think not worrying so much about what's right or wrong and more just like what you enjoy doing, and then the growth will come with it, I think.
And would you say that, I mean, I assume that you've gotten more self-confident after 4 years of being on Twitch, but would you say that you have the feeling you can always be yourself on cam now or on stream?
Yeah, to a certain degree. I definitely started out being very shy and awkward, and I definitely came out of my shell like a lot. And I mean, if you watch my streams, I'll sing and I'll just have random hiccups, and I'm just derping all the time. Um, but I guess the one thing that, even though I do talk a lot about mental health, sometimes people just don't want to hear it or see it. So you got to be a bit careful not to like constantly bring it up in a way, but still keep you and be true and honest to yourself at the same time. So yeah, I feel comfortable most of the time. There's very, very few times I'm not comfortable. But
Most of us
yeah, I
have
think
those
it just
days, probably. Yeah.
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 But overall, it's I feel like I'm less introverted on stream than I am in real life, actually.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel that too. As just,
Yeah.
I also have the feeling the more you are working from home and are isolated from people, the more introverted you kind of become, and then you constantly have to step out of your comfort zone and go to conventions, meet people, interact. You kind of have to force yourself because your comfort zone just shrinks and gets smaller if you just don't have the possibility to go to an office every day and meet a lot of people, right? It can get a little bit
Yeah.
frightening if you first time go to a convention again and see a lot of people. I don't know. I think that's just natural what happens to people who game a lot and work from home, right? You don't have
Hmm.
that social feedback every day. It's just, yeah, we have to get that somewhere else, conventions or so. No?
Yeah.
Um, and if you're looking back at the beginning of your streaming career,
Yeah.
which advice would you give yourself? The same one or something to add?
Oh,
It sounded already like an advice, what you said, what you learned, but maybe you have something else.
yeah, it's probably a lot of the things I've said already. Like, don't be scared of being yourself because I think when we start out, we just try to mimic everything else we see because we want to fit in and we want to do what's right. And I think that comes with experience and time to grow and find our place and to be more confident with like how we stream and how we portray our personalities. I would probably tell myself not to worry so much about numbers. Um, because I think everyone, or most people, get very focused on how many people are there, or how much money did you make, or something. But just to take that beginning time to get, I guess, grow and learn the ropes of Twitch a little bit,
No.
and then things will fall into place more, I think.
Yeah, that's a good
And
advice.
I guess lower your expectations in the beginning. Because some people think that, okay, I'm going to stream for a week and I'm going to be partner and I'm going to have 1,000 subs, and that's really not. I mean, maybe some lucky people out there can make those things happen, but for most people that doesn't come overnight.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of also answered the last question that I had, but I would also add, and maybe you also can come up with something else. Like, my last question was, which advice would you give people who want to start streaming on Twitch and become full-time streamer? And I personally would always say that in my case, for example, I've been still working and I still had my income, and it just happened naturally out of a hobby that I became a streamer. And then you kind of could already calculate, could you maybe afford being a student and live from the money that you earn, that you don't really have the financial pressure. So that you kind of are safe and know how to monetize, but can also enjoy streaming in a way and not just be like, okay, I'm gonna be full-time streamer, and then you start, and if it doesn't work out, you went all in and you were super frustrated about it, or you might just need a little bit longer, right? So I personally think if you really want to become a full-time streamer, you should first of all try if it's really something for you, unless you have the background from family and you can afford it to just go full in, why not? But if you have some duties, financial duties, you should maybe really not give up on your job and just try it like 3 times in the evening when you have time. If it's something for you, how people react to the genre that you're playing and stuff like that, and see naturally what happens and how it evolves. What would you say?
I think you covered most of it already. Financially, make sure that you're able to make that transition. Either have savings or work part-time until you feel like your stream is sufficient income for you to get by. Always save for a bad month. I can't stress that enough, because you might have 4, 6 amazing months, but then 4 months might just be like nothing. Like maybe Christmas people can't afford because they're buying Christmas presents, or like school vacation, maybe people go on vacation and you don't see them. You have to account for seasonal things as well. So yeah, I think one tip is definitely make sure that you can afford to make that transition, that you're going to be okay. And also that you're realistic. If it doesn't work, that you go get another job or something until that balance comes back again. I think also just, I guess, expectations has to be adjusted realistically. And other than that, I think it's just like, yeah, best of luck and see what happens.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
good. That was really nice. I think we've been dealing with a lot of important points. Really.
Yeah, I guess
Thank you.
maybe we can take some questions from
Yeah.
both chats and see if anyone has anything they want to
Guys,
ask.
do you have any questions to Ice or to me or anything about the topic?
All right, Ice Walkers, this is your time.
This is your time. Baboonies, this
This
is
is
your
your
time
time
to
to
shine.
engage. Ask questions for me or Bekka, and same for the baboonies. It's been really fun though to just talk about everything, and especially because we're both full-time streamers as well, to get like each other's view on things as well.
Yeah, I also think there's a lot of value in that topic because a lot of people don't know the different perspectives. We don't constantly talk about what's going on behind the cam, no?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question from TJ. How did you choose who your first mod was?
For me, it was just who was able to help and who did I trust, and
Yeah.
who was there the most as well. It was like a trust thing for me, I think.
Yeah, for me too. Trust and
Yeah,
who is
definitely.
available.
Yeah, I would never mod someone that I didn't know and trusted. And I think for people who like think, oh, how do I become a mod? Honestly, just engage with the community, be excited, be mature in the chat, hype things up, engage with other members and the streamer, and things will probably get noticed by the streamer, you know, if it's like I guess, a natural interaction as well. It's not over-forced in some way. Most of the time, the streamer also will be like, "Oh yeah, I, I, I know this name, and that guy is always there." You know, they're always so mature. They're always like responsible and enthusiastic, and they have my back. You know, and that's what we look for when we go and mod people. So.
Yeah, I also think it's important that people have been there for a while and not just being active for like 1 or 2 months in order to become mod and then the interest falls down, you know? Like I really observed this for a while. It can take like half a year until I'm like, okay, wow, I really trust you. And you could be a good
Yeah.
mod. We have another question from Sugar. Variety stream or maining a game? Well,
I think that's a personal preference, honestly.
yeah.
I don't think there's a right or wrong.
I personally would say maining a game if you want to be partner quick nowadays. That's how I
Yeah,
did
that's
it.
probably the fastest way to grow.
Variety is
But for me,
masterclass. Yeah.
yeah, I find that I get more enjoyment from variety streaming because I don't get tired of one game and
Yeah,
I
me
don't get
too.
burnt out with one game. But again, obviously, growth as a variety is harder than maining a game. So it's what's important to you, what do you enjoy the more. Again, there's no one thing that works better than the other. It's just whatever works for you, honestly.
Does your chat have a question? We have some questions.
Yeah, we have some questions here as well. So I have a question. I got a young nephew who's growing up in the streaming YouTube culture. What advice can we give to kids whose goal are to become a streamer so they don't flunk on their education? Do you have any thoughts, Becca?
I personally never believed that education matters, to be honest. Sorry, I mean, you should be able to write and calculate, but I did my, how do you say, A levels. I studied, I was working as a bank consultant, and I really have to say, I always want to go again for what makes me happy and not for what people expect of me. I did like finish my studies just because my mommy basically expected me to do it. So, but it never really made me happy. I want to be I just want to live how I want to live, and I never look down to people who didn't finish studies or broke up with school. I don't know. I'm not that person. I don't think that you need to be educated or have a good degree in order to be successful in life. There are often people who just have like an apprenticeship. For example, they paint walls or whatever. They become self-employed later on. They get their own house. They have a nice life. Do what makes you happy and don't care about what society thinks if you can afford it in a way, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think for me as well, like obviously I would always encourage people to finish their education if they can and if it's the right thing to do for them. For me, I dropped out at A levels because I was going through a lot of things in my life, which was quite challenging on my mental health, and my physical health became a problem as well. So I dropped out of A levels, and I actually came back as an adult and paid for to finish
Oh,
my studies.
wow.
But I worked a lot of, I guess, hospitality jobs and things like that because I didn't really have that education. But I've still managed to do something great with my life. I've started my own company. I'm streaming full time. I'm
Yeah.
following my passion. So it's absolutely possible to do those things. But obviously, it is finding what's right for you at the end of the day.
So did you finish your A level then and studies
Yeah,
or?
I did.
Yeah.
I
What
did
nice.
finish it.
Respect.
But
Hardcore.
I came back and did it, and I paid for it later on as an adult. But it was the right thing for me to do at the time.
Yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
have a funny question for you, Eyes, from
Okay.
Exy. I know Becca's answer already, so this is for Eyes. What is your goal
Okay.
viewer number you'd love to average?
Oh, my goal viewer average. Again, I try not to focus so much on the numbers, but it would be really cool to be on like 100 consistently.
For
Because
being
that's a
attractive
triple
for
digit.
sponsors, and also for being
That would
attractive
be
to
so
sponsors,
cool.
no? I
Yeah.
mean, you are
I think
if
that's
you
a
are
good
below
number to
one,
be on.
if you are below 100, you are not even called a mini streamer. I've been in a talent agency and they told me that like you kind of have to be 100 plus in order to be called a mini streamer. That a lot of
Yeah.
companies actually, I mean, a lot of companies look for like 99 average viewers. Some of them are 50 average viewers, and then it depends on the money that you're gonna get for a sponsored game, right? So being
Yeah.
able to like take some pressure away from the community and monetizing your channel, like 100 is a really good number to aim for.
Yeah. Nick in my chat is asking, how did we meet? Do you want to tell the story or?
Yeah, we met
Yeah.
through a common friend, basically, no? At
Yeah.
Gamescom. I met her, and we were vibing with each other. We were living in one room. It was really one room, as
Yeah, we
four
had no
people.
choice but to like each other.
We had no choice. It was incredibly expensive, and it was really on one room for Gamescom where we've been staying. And I don't know, our communities vibed, and we've been spending a lot of time together at Gamescom, and then we just became friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ice was just so caring, and I don't know, we've been constantly in contact with our phones. Are you fine? Where are you? Is everything fine? Will we meet up in the partner lounge? And I don't know, it
Yeah.
was just nice to have someone who really cares and it is not just like leaving you behind, because I like to be with one person in particular. If I'm going to an event, and I like to look after a person and be in contact, and that's what Ice was as well.
Yeah, I
And
think we
that's,
both just made each other feel very safe all the time because we
yeah,
knew we were not alone and we were both partners. So we could also like, if being around, like for me, I have social anxiety. If like being around like so many people all the time got too much, I'd be like, Becca, can we go to the partner lounge for 5 minutes? We'll get
get a drink.
a Coke or something just
Yeah,
to like cool down a little bit and then go back to being social. It's like, okay, should we maybe hang out with the community now or what do we do? Like we just had like that I guess bond that we felt
yeah.
safe with each other. And we,
Damn, the next
yeah, someone who
convention.
understands what it is like being a streamer at a convention as well, because what you guys don't realize is that it can be quite scary for us meeting so many new people who know so much about you because they watch you stream and they know what you look like, they know what you like, and but we always see is a name in a chat. We might not know what you look like, we might not know what you are like in person. And when you get 20 people coming at you at the same time who all wants a piece of you,
Yeah.
sometimes that can be a little bit daunting.
I don't know, what
And
I also appreciate
yeah,
about you is basically that I can just do my thing and be a streamer, and you never, I don't know, we can write after like 1 or 2 weeks and have a conversation, and nobody's upset that the other one was busy, because we understand what's the life of the other one looks like, and we can just hang out and be like, let's play some Valorant, and Ice carries me or something. It's just, I don't know, it feels good to not have pressure to constantly live up to that friendship and have and fulfill a lot
yeah.
of expectations, because I feel like I can't at the moment. I don't even have a lot of time, spend a lot of time with my real life friends. So it's so nice to have someone who understands if you just want to, yeah, be for yourself for a while. No?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a very good friendship like that because, as you said, like I don't feel like I have to text you every day to validate our friendship, or
Yeah,
like,
like that.
yeah, like I can text you in 2 months' time, and we didn't speak for 2 months, and we would still talk like we are today, and
Yeah.
that makes me feel happy because I don't feel any pressure to be like, oh, I have to talk to her, otherwise she's not going to support me or be my friend anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like a very organic friendship.
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
more questions.
I have one if you like. Let's
Yeah, I
go.
have few as well.
Okay, so let's take one from me and then from one from you, I would say, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, let's go for. I just take one of the questions. There was one interesting question. Something with. Oh my god, there were a lot of questions. Give me a second.
Yeah.
There was something with competition that I wanted to answer. That was really interesting. Where's that
Oh
one?
yeah. Do you either of you feel the other is your competition in any way,
Exactly.
like for viewers, for instance?
Exactly. That is a really, really good question, because a lot of people zone out,
Yeah, I
or
think.
yeah, leave out on, kind of go away from you because you are a competition and they can't handle your success. And that is so important
Yeah.
that you have friends, I mean,
Hmm.
who truly support you even though they have a bad month, because everybody wants to have a good month, and it's hard for people if they have a bad month. But if you have someone who is genuinely happy for you and doesn't badmouth your success, this is so much worth. And this is what we have. Like, if there's a viewer in my channel who starts, I rate him over to Ice channel, and Ice becomes his favorite new channel, I'm like the happiest person, because that's what happens to me too. You just sometimes introduce people to each other and they just vibe. That's what you do with raids, and you
Yeah,
really, I want to support her, I want to
exactly.
be there for her.
I
I'm
think that happened to
yeah,
both of us. Like some of
yeah,
my viewers have like just found a home with your stream and vice versa. And I think our communities intermingle so much as well
yeah,
because we are close friends as well. But I guess the question can be brought to like a wider aspect, like not too tight knit people like we are, but like I guess like if it comes down to it at the end of the day, every streamer out there is your competition for views, for community members, for donations, for subs, um, but it doesn't have to be like a negative thing about it. Like I think as long as you keep doing what makes you happy and you're enjoying your content, that will come. And I think if we just focus so much on it's like, oh, who's my competition, and oh, that person went there, and oh, they watched that person, that's just not going to be a healthy thinking. At the end of the day, it's just going to drain you mentally, and it's going to make people feel that vibe as well. If you, I guess, I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm making
I
sense of
mean,
what
in
I'm
the end, you
saying,
have
but
to kind of think about your own content. What could have been the reason that they went away? That's how I'm
yeah,
thinking.
reflect on
Yeah,
yourself as
and if
well.
if I did everything right and they just kind of vibe with the other person, or I think about maybe I could improve something about myself. You kind of reflect yourself, and then that's the best thing you can do. Not like blame the other for that, but like look into your own channel and improve on your own channel. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
of course, we all know something like looking to the left, to the right. There are people who inspire us in competition, and sometimes you feel maybe bad because you don't perform like them. And yeah, but it's not. Honestly, I don't know. I
yeah.
hate people who are so jealous and have to badmouth on any social media about other people. It happened to both of us, I would say, and that's just why
I
we
think
found each other. And yeah.
yeah, one of the hardest things with this topic is definitely the jealousy thing that some people feel sometimes when they see their friends succeed or something. And I also see that sometimes if I'm having a successful month or something, you can tell sometimes that people only talking to you because you had those successes, and they want to kind of, I guess, be part of it in a way that they want to, find who was so generous to you and can they come to my channel kind of thing.
Oh,
You
okay.
can tell who those people are, but then you have like the really, really genuine people, like you will find a couple of people. Like for me, Bekka is one of those people where I can go and tell her, oh my God, I had X amount of subs today. And she will be like, oh my God, that's insane. And like genuinely mean it. And she'll be happy for me. And she's not going to be like, oh, was it one of my viewers? Does that mean I get less subs now? Like some people actually think this way. And that will affect their friendships. And I think it's just important to surround yourself with people that you know is genuinely going to be happy for you, and people you also feel happy for, because at the end of the day we're kind of each other's colleagues, aren't we? Like we
Yeah.
shouldn't just be fighting over, you know.
Yeah, like I don't know, like for me it's important even if I would have one of those moments where I'm weak and just feel bad or kind of compare myself, I can come to you and talk about it, and I just go to you directly and talk about it with you, and you kind of have a conversation with me and don't take it personal. That's just what matters. Like whenever you have a we're just humans, whenever you have a bad feeling, that you
Yeah,
go to
for
that
sure.
person, discuss it out, and on the next day the world looks different or you just get some good feedback. I think that's I don't know if like Ice or me or anyone would have a problem with that. We talk with each other and we don't
Yeah,
badmouth, which is yeah,
communication for sure.
yeah, it's
um
just
oh my God, there's so many questions here.
yeah, just
So
it's me
Monk
too.
wants to know, does it ever get lonely never having colleagues to meet face to face each day? I would say yes. It does
Yeah,
definitely get lonely.
it would be nice if
Um,
someone would live close by.
being a streamer, yeah, being a streamer, like I don't know for you, Becca, but I don't necessarily leave the house so much. Sorry, that's my dog. Um, and I don't, when you work at an office, you obviously see people face to face, and you might just be like, oh, hey, what did you do last night? Did you see this movie? Did you like? You just have like a little chit chat. We do that too, but we do it on Twitch, and we have those conversations with text, like
Yeah,
people behind the text wall. We don't see their reactions, they see our reactions. So they get the interaction, we get the text back. So although we get a social interaction to a degree, we don't have that face-to-face conversation. And I think everyone at some point in their lives need to have a little bit of social life as well, in real life as well. So yeah, it can get quite lonely. And also, as we briefly said, that finding friends on Twitch can be hard because some people get so competitive, or they don't enjoy your successes because they get jealous or something like that. And just finding those genuine friendships and social interactions. And I mean, most likely you're going to run into another streamer who's not from your country. Like you're in Germany,
yeah,
and it's not like I can just be like, hey, Becca, I want to come and we'll have some dinner, or we'll go to the movies.
yeah. I mean,
We need to take a holiday and fly, and so
that's
yeah,
true.
it can get lonely.
I don't know. I personally, honestly have to say, maybe I'm a bit weird, but I never feel lonely. And that's also the reason that I can constantly reach out. Also, my Discord, I play with my community off stream.
Yeah,
I mean, I could even reach out to Ice and be like, let's play some rounds of Valorant if I'm really sad and lonely. I just feel like it changed me in a way because in former times I've been going partying a lot, I've been working in an office, I've been studying, being with a lot of people. My confidence in real life was much better. I got social feedback, and I just feel like the isolation does something with me, and it's just important to constantly break out of that and not kind of cancel
Yeah.
appointments, which you tend to sometimes do when you're a gamer because you want to play the game or you want to stay at home, and it can be scary, but you just go there, do it. Go for it. If people invite you to their birthday, go there. If you have a convention, make
Yeah.
sure you go there. It's hard, but those are the problems of people who are working from home and are working really isolated, that you just force yourself constantly to go out there and you won't be that lonely, or get your social feedback somehow. That is really important.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Woodsy. Do you watch the top Twitch streamers and what do you learn from them, if so?
Um, if I'm going to be honest, I don't tend to watch very big streamers because I feel lost in their chat. I enjoy a stream where I can go and have an interaction with the person or the people in the chat. I enjoy that more personally, unless I'm very interested in like a tournament or like a game launch or something, and I want to see what that's like. But I mean, what you're saying is kind of going like, do we go and research things? Yeah, we do. Like, you have to kind of see what other people are doing and what works about on Twitch and stuff. But I probably class that more as like more research rather than like I go and hang out there constantly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, oops. What did I do? Oh, I closed something. Did I close something? No, your cam just died, no?
Oh no. Oh, did it? Oh,
Yeah.
has my dog done something? She might have unhooked a wire somewhere.
Yeah, but we
Um,
can also answer questions like that. That's no problem. Maybe you can, as long as your OBS puts your cam back on, maybe, or I don't know.
yeah, I need to go check my wires. One
Check
second. I'm
them.
just going to mute myself
Yeah,
for
yeah,
one
do
minute, and
it,
then
do
you
it.
guys just talk. I'm going to see if I
Okay,
can
okay.
fix it.
I'll talk with Chad. I'm not even sure if I have to stay unmuted so that you guys hear me. Oh, lul. Ice tells me when she's back. Wait, which kind of questions? There were a lot of questions. Anything? How did you two meet was answered. If you had the chance to start over, would you do things differently? Also, weird question. Do you ever regret the time you invested into streaming as you get more mature? Do you think you'll ever stop playing games or streaming? That's a really good question. I think we should go for that. Babushka, hi, by the way. Opinion on lurkers and how you each handle it. What do you mean with lurkers? Is there something bad about lurkers? Maybe let's see when Ice comes back. Then she's back. She's back. Let's put her back on.
Hello?
Hello.
Am I back?
You're back. I have a really good question, by the way, from Babushka.
Sorry, my dog well, she knocked the wire, so my camera didn't have any power.
She was like, "I want the attention.
Just my dog.
Stop
Yeah,
this
she
shit."
does that. Yeah, sorry, what was the question?
Wait, was the last question a question from your chat or mine?
I don't know. I have loads more questions. I'm not ignoring anyone. It's just like we're trying to combine all the questions.
Okay, I go for the question from Babushka and then we go for the question from your chat again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, if you had the chance to start over, would you do things differently? Also, weird question. Do you ever regret the time you invested into streaming as you get more mature? Do you think you'll ever stop playing games or streaming?
For me, I'm never going to stop playing games. It's just my passion. I enjoy it so much. Do I regret streaming? Absolutely not. Will I continue to do it? For as long as I can pay my bills, I will. If I can't pay my bills, then I will just do it like as a hobby and keep doing it because I enjoy it so much. If I could do something differently, I probably would have... No, I don't think so. I think it's all made me who I am, in a way. Oh my god, it's died again. Yuki, are you...
I don't want to interrupt you. It's fine.
Okay, I'm so sorry about this, guys. I really don't know what's happening to my
No
camera
problem.
lately.
I will
One
just in
second.
between answer the question as well.
Yeah, you just answer some questions.
Yeah. For me personally, if I would do something different, yeah, I've been starting with German, language German, maining Dota, and I became partnered in that category. But if you want to start streaming, first of all, think about your channel name. Check if it's a brand already, a registered brand, if you can use it later on for monetization. Second of all, think about the game you want to start with. Do you want to main? Do you want to do variety? Okay. Think about which language at the beginning so you don't have to start all over again. So think about you want to stream in German or your mother tongue, how is the category over there, and think about it if you maybe want to stream in English, how comfortable you feel with that. So those are the 3 things that you really have to keep in mind: username, channel name, language, and why you're maining a game. That's because I've been doing it. I've been maining a game doing German. Then I went from German to English. Then I started playing variety. So I did constantly.
I think I'm back.
Welcome
I have
back,
to crawl
guys.
under my desk. I'm sorry, guys.
Like I constantly had to start all over, which was making it really hard, you know. So yeah, that was my advice. So yeah, one question from your chat.
Yeah, sorry. My goodness, there's so many. My chat has been going crazy. Is it important to have a specific brand or style to your stream?
Yes. Yes, I mean, if you have like a scheme, or for example, you have a mascot, it brings people more close to each other, and especially if you want to create a community name. I mean, I managed to create a new community name after I changed my name. I actually did change my name, yeah, once, and it's hard because you kind of have to include the community in the process and ask them for what they could imagine, which name they could kind of identify with, right? That you don't just decide something, but make it a process that kind of happens together. So I think it's important to have a scheme like a mascot. It can also develop, of course, but you don't want to like invest in tons of emotes and then have to redo them again if you find your mascot. So think about it. No? Like a mascot, have your overlay, your graphics. Otherwise, you just invest tons of money in redoing it every time again, like I did. So yeah, you can prepare that.
Yeah, I think it makes you stand out, and it gives you like, I guess like if you have like something that makes you, then you stand out compared to someone else, and then people will remember, oh, this name or this logo or this face, like I remember this, and yeah, it becomes your brand essentially. So yeah, it is important to kind of find your own thing, I guess.
It's a question, both of you, from Exy. Is there a streamer you ever felt jealous about their sudden success or something? Like, why does that not happen to me? E.g. Ninja's Fortnite hype.
I think it's natural to have days like that. I will have days where I'll be like, oh, I've been doing this for so long and this guy has only done it for 2 months, but they did this and this when it took me like a year or whatever. But I think that's just natural to feel those kind of thoughts, but it doesn't mean that you're disliking them or something. And then sometimes you just remember, oh yeah, but maybe they did it because they had like 10,000 subs on YouTube and that's why they grew so quickly. And you just have to remember that everyone is different. And like everyone's journey, like it really isn't the healthiest thing to compare journeys. Like they might be looking like they're in the beginning of their journey, but maybe it's like they streamed on YouTube for 5 years and they already gained an audience there, or like everyone has different things. So maybe they just did something right that you didn't do early on. You know, it's natural to have those thoughts, but I don't let them consume me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I personally have to say, I've been also talking about that on my stream, but like my personal goal is like 100, maximum 200, 300 viewers would be too much already, because I'm a streamer, yes, but fun fact, I don't like the attention. And I would be scared of the consequences if I see bigger streamers getting witch hunted on social media and the attention they get, and I don't know, like it's not really my style. So if someone really blows up, there's a reason to that, and there's also a reason that I would never be able to do because I don't feel it, I don't want to do it. I don't want to give that much of myself. I like the privacy and everything, so it would be probably weird for me if that happened. Like, it's not what I'm wishing for. Like, if people blew up to 1K viewers, I'm super happy for them. They can live. And also, you have to say, just because you blow up to 1,000, 2,000 viewers doesn't mean that you can live from the support you get from your community. That's the strength of a community. You can get sponsors, yes, but there are people with less viewers with more sub points than like the biggest 1,000 viewer streamer. So that's so individually. It depends on the person, the content, how valuable that is to people. And that can be also with you have like 100 viewers or 30 viewers. Like it really, I don't know, I don't think that way anymore. I don't know, maybe I wanted to be bigger in former times. Maybe I was feeling jealous. I just cannot really remember. I don't know. Yeah, jealousy is normal, I guess. I just don't know who it was in particular now. And It was
Yeah,
definitely not about the
exactly.
numbers, then maybe about something they have a skill in a certain game. Maybe that makes me jealous, yeah. If someone is like Ice is super good in Valorant, I'm super jealous, yeah. Like
I
stuff
don't know
like
if I
that.
would say that, but
Yeah,
I
I mean, you
appreciate
just
it.
carried me, so I'm like, oh damn, she's so good.
Yeah.
But she spent more hours in that game like me, so of course she's better, Bekka. Just work your ass off, and you can be maybe there as well. You know, but I won't, like, because I just don't play shooters. Yeah, that's just what it is.
Yeah. So, shall we maybe move over to the game now, or?
Yeah, we can, of course.
Okay,
Maybe
I'm
we
gonna
take a
need like
break,
five
no?
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
also.
like 5-10 minutes. I need to set up my camera again and
Yeah, let's do that. 10 minutes break
stuff.
would be
So,
nice.
yeah,
Okay,
so maybe
thank you
quarter
so
past or
much.
something, we'll try
Yeah,
to
let's do
play.
that. Thank you
So
so
thank
much
you
for
very much
being
for
part.
having me on the podcast, and
Yeah, it was wonderful to have you. I think we
yeah,
created a lot of value out of that podcast.
yeah, for sure. Hopefully, we answered your guys' question as well.
Yeah. Okay, see you in
All right,
10.
see you in 10. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.